It is a very busy Saturday in the National Hockey League, but we have some Vancouver Canucks news and notes to go over, courtesy of Rick Dhaliwal and Halford and Bruff. This, of course, is their Friday segment, but I wanted to do some of these conversations today on the weekend just because we can get some filler stuff into the show. Big shout out, as always, to the Sportsnet 650 crew, Halford, Bruff, Dolly, as well as Canucks News Summaries, who goes out there and does the very big public community service of transcribing and summarizing a lot of these Canucks news and notes. We've got some conversations on Zeev Buium, we've got talks on Adam Foote, not to mention Manny Malhotra, Kevin Lankinen, Thatcher Demko, and more. Could some of these guys get traded? Could some of these guys be on their way out? And what does the future hold for Vancouver defense? Let's dive into the Canucks News summaries as to what's going on. Firstly, Dhaliwal on Halford and Bruff spoke about ticket prices and the increase that the Canucks fans are going to have to go through. The New York Rangers, all the way in the East, they have a policy that if they don't make the playoffs, they don't raise ticket prices. Canucks ownership, on the other hand, they don't earn that goodwill from the fan base. Yeah, don't get me started on ticket prices. I'ma be real, I actually don't really know too much about them because I, quite frankly, don't go to Canucks games a lot. Meanwhile, speaking about Canucks games, the previous Canucks game we had seen saw some really big fight out of Buium and Willander. Dhaliwal says he is impressed with how they have stepped up after the trade deadline. He sees both of these guys as part of the leadership group going forward. They talk like 10-year veterans in the media. Willander went to Sweden during the Olympic break to train. You know, the guy is very dedicated. He wants to be better. He does not want to take any days off. Meanwhile, for Zeev Buium, there's a talk about contracts. They don't want to continuously sign players to bridge contracts, which I think is a very, very fair perspective for the Canucks to have. Dhaliwal says he'll be shocked if Zeev Buium does not sign a long-term extension. An 8-year contract will end up being between $8 and maybe a little bit over $9 million. Comparable contracts do play a big factor in negotiations. So while it's true, a guy like Quinn Hughes, for example, is only making $7 million a year. Okay, 7-8, essentially. Just under the big ol' $8 million mark. While a guy like Cale Makar is making $9. Yeah, it's true. You can say that, oh, Zeev Buium is so young, he is so inexperienced, he's so raw, he's just finishing up his first full year and he's only got 22 points. What do you mean this guy's going to make more money than Cale Makar and Quinn Hughes? Well, that's just the territory we are at nowadays. The cap has gone up so much that now young defensemen who don't really have that much experience are really stepping into that dollar-earning territory. Even a guy like Luke Hughes is making $9 million a year. That guy's had multiple 40-point seasons, and he got signed a year ago. Zeev Buium and the Canucks could, in theory, agree to a contract that is a tad more than Luke Hughes, and it wouldn't really be seen as that bad. It would just put the Luke Hughes deal in a much better light when you evaluate it long-term, because it's like, oh, I think Hughes is a better defenseman right now, and long-term, you can debate whether or not that's actually going to happen. Zeev Buium definitely has his own skills as well. But Buium, he's only 20 years old. There's a lot to grow and become for this young player in the National Hockey League, especially for the Vancouver Canucks. And speaking about Buium and Tom Willander, both of these guys have been big leaders on and off the ice. We saw them kind of practicing how to fight with each other. We saw them getting into the media and talking about the leadership and what they want to accomplish with this team. Zeev, in particular, continuously talks about his relationship with Kevin Bieksa and how, hey, when Vancouver is winning, they are one of the best cities to be a part of, and he wants to see that through. It's quite fitting for a guy like Zeev Buium, who has literally won everything there is to win for a young defenseman in this sort of a draft and development profile that he has. 2 first All-American teams in the NCAA, 1-time NCAA NCHC champion, 1-time NCAA champion, 1-time World Championship gold, 2-time World Junior Championship gold, 1-time U18 World Championship gold. The guy just wins everything. Every step of the way, he has gone out there and won. And now all he has to do is do that at the Olympics, and then he's got to do that with the Vancouver Canucks to win a Stanley Cup. Now, unfortunately, Zeev, for your sake, I'm not too sure if an American Olympic gold medal is going to be in the cards in 2030 or 2034 or whatever. Gavin McKenna, Macklin Celebrini, Connor Bedard, and Matthew Schaefer might have something to say about that. But regardless, Zeev Buium has been an American stud on the international scene. He wants to win. He knows how it feels to win. He does not want to get enough of that feeling. And him and Tom Willander, that seems like they have pretty similar mindsets in that regard. They both have that strong desire to just pull out on top. And the fire that we had seen in the previous game against the LA Kings definitely articulates that very well. Willander pissed off with himself that he can't get off. Zeev Buium fighting at the end of the game and slamming his gloves on the whatever it was, that little ledge that they have. These guys are passionate guys, and I think Vancouver Canucks fans are going to love seeing them develop over the next few years. Willander's 21, Buium is 20. Lots to like out of these two. Now, speaking about players that will be on or off the team over the next few years, let's talk about the head coach. Rick Dhaliwal says we'll find out in about 2 to 3 weeks if Adam Foote will remain as the Vancouver Canucks head coach. There is a conversation to have about Manny Malhotra as well, because, I don't know if y'all had noticed, this guy's being pretty highly touted when it comes to his team staff profile. Abbotsford Canucks AHL head coach. He won the Calder Championship, and he was pretty good in that role. He has experience with the Vancouver Canucks and the Toronto Maple Leafs as an assistant coach. Dhaliwal says here that Malhotra's goal is to be an NHL head coach. His family still lives in Toronto, and he's also well aware that he'll get interest from around the NHL for him and his coaching services. Now, that's not all too surprising when you consider the body of work that Manny Malhotra has been able to accomplish in the National Hockey League, but this, of course, will make some Canucks fans quite antsy, because there's a lot to like out of Manny Malhotra, and the idea that he could be the next Vancouver Canucks head coach, I do think is also an appetizing idea. But with that said, there's a conversation on Adam Foote, too. He's not great with the media, Rick Dhaliwal said. Rookie coaches usually take a long time to figure things out. And the combination of coaching plus development for Vancouver, it's very crucial for next season. Now we're thinking about whether or not Adam Foote is the right guy to be the head of that. Meanwhile, trading a goalie is also talked about here by Rick Dhaliwal and Halford and Bruff. Thatcher Demko has spent the last several seasons injured. Teams will not be interested in him unless he is healthy and has shown that he can remain healthy. Teams are watching Kevin Lankinen, though. Lankinen has a full no-move clause, and he has said that he does not want to get traded. There is no indication that he'd be open to a trade. However, Dhaliwal does say at the bottom, he'll never say never, because Tyler Myers was not interested in being traded too. The good old goaltending trade conversation. Thatcher Demko, his value is shot down. The guy is making $8.5 million a year. He's got a lot of statistical pedigree, a lot of prowess, but he cannot stay healthy. Demko has been a problem for Vancouver the past few years. Ever since that Vezina-nominated year, he has not been able to consistently play games for the Vancouver Canucks. It's forced them into tough decisions. They had to sign Kevin Lankinen. They chose him over Artur Shilovs. Meanwhile, Lankinen, he kind of sucks now too. .877 save percentage in 41 games. To be fair, he plays on Vancouver, and the team's letting him out to dry, but still, Kevin Lankinen, he seems like a pretty good leadership material caliber guy too. I'm not saying that he's the reason the Canucks are bad, but overall, he isn't great this season. I do think that he's a lot better than the numbers would imply, but the fact that teams are still interested in him does pique my interest, even just a little bit. So with that said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about this Demko, Lankinen trade update? Teams are probably not interested in Demko. Lank is getting attention. And then you have yourself some coaching talk. Malhotra and Foote, who stays, who goes. Willander and Buium are looking pretty good, feisty, and the contract for Buium could be coming up soon as well. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about all these Canucks news and notes. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.